Hello and namaste. I'm back here again at Archana 360 degrees, and I hope all of you are doing well. Before I begin today, I want to say something very important. The events I share on my channel are true. They span 30 years of my professional journey across India, UAE, and beyond. To protect the confidentiality and to honor the professional and personal relationships I have built over decades, I prefer to not to name specific companies, industries and individuals. What matters is not the logos on the doors I walked through. What matters is the blueprint I discovered while walking through them. This is my story, my truth, my journey, and it is offered to you so that you can find yours. In the last video, I shared three principles of strategy at 0 degrees on my rebuilding: movement without validation, resourcefulness over resources, and building when no one is watching. And I closed the video with a promise. Next video is on success dimension when your value is becoming portable. Today I'm here to deliver the promise. I'm Archana and this is Archana 360 degrees. The success dimension defined on mYdNA framework is 180 degrees to 270 degrees. Today we walk and we talk about success, what exactly it is, what it looks like, and what it proves about you. Let's start with an honest question because I think most of us, if we are truthful, have been chasing a definition of success to suit us. My professional journey observation also gave me success definitions, plurals, and I sat and I dissected each professional chapter I have gone through in my 30 years. Okay, let me ask you something, and I want you to actually sit with it. Stop looking at your business card to define your worth. Seriously. Now, take it out of your wallet, look at it, and ask yourself, is this, if this card was blank, who are you? I hope you removed from the wallet. It's okay. If the wallet is not around, do this. Seriously, do this. Remove your business card from your wallet, from your laptop bag, or from your purse, wherever you have kept on the business card holder. Look at it and imagine if it is blank. What are you? Who are you? If this card is so important in your life, then where are you heading? Most of us have spent around 30 years, 40 years, 25 years becoming success tenants. Yes, tenants for success. We pay a massive rent in stress, in missed family dinners, in sleepless nights, just to live in a title that we don't even owe it. We think we've arrived at the 180 degrees mark because the world has applauded the designation you were on. But if that is success, then I'm sorry. But if that success stays in the office when you walk out of the door, you were just renting a reputation. Think about it. Today, we are dissecting success dimension. In my framework, mYdNA, success isn't a destination you reach. It's a nucleus you carry. I will show you how. In 3 decades, I have moved three continents. I've moved across three continents and I've shifted multiple industries, around seven to eight, where I was a total stranger when I entered for the first time. I didn't survive because of a logo on my letterhead or on my business card. I survived because I owed the engine for the vehicle which I was driving to enter the industry. So, when your value is portable, you stop being a tenant and you become the architect yourself. You realize that the why role is just a temporary, it's a platform, and me beneath is the only thing which is there and it is fireproof. So, today, before the framework, before my stories, I want to actually ask you to do one more thing. Take a pen or a notebook or a notepad and write what is success. Write a definition of the success while you're starting to watch my video and we compare it at the end of the video, right? So, when I researched about success dimension, about definition, I got various. Few of them I'm sharing here. Success as the invisible ROI, where we are focusing on the systems of integrity you have left behind. Success as the currency of trust, focusing on your promise in your professional career and the circle with your operational and functional teams. Success is the equity of influence, it's a social capital. Worldwide, success is shifting now from what you know to who trusts you. Then there is a definition of anti fragility, success via volatility. Based on the global concept of anti fragility, true success is not avoiding failure but getting better because of it. In professional context, success is often viewed as a journey through different layers of achievement, moving from external markers to the internal fulfillment. The traditional corporate culture defined success as positional, the size of your office, the number of the reportees you have, and the title on your business card. But now the modern thread is on. It says success is now functional, not positional. It's about what problem can you solve. And post pandemic, the global definition of success has shifted towards sustainability. And there is endless list of definitions. We will have to do multiple videos for that. And we are not here only to define success. We are here to understand. So actually, what I observe that success is the dimension most people spend their entire lives in, not soul, not strategy, not spirituality. सक्सेस डायमेंशन में लोग अपनी पूरी जिंदगी निकाल देते हैं. People wake up thinking, how do I get promoted? How do I prove my worth? How do I learn more? How do I survive this environment? So, this dimension, 180 degrees to 270 degrees, is where most humans live their entire life. Okay, let me paint a picture that I think will be very familiar with you. So you study hard, you get a degree, you get the job, you work harder than everyone around you, you get a promotion, and then the next promotion. The team grows, the salary grows, the title on the business card also grows and gets longer. And somewhere along the way, you stop asking whether you are actually succeeding because the metrics are all going in the right direction. So it must be really working until something changes, a restructure, a merger, an industry shift, a political exit from a role you built with your whole self. And overnight, the title is gone, the team is gone, the salary changes or doesn't come, the calendar empties. Was this success? If everything was taken from you, the title, the company, the salary, the team, the office, what remained? क्या बचा आपके पास? ज्यादातर लोग इस सवाल से घबराते हैं। पूछे क्यों? वाई? क्योंकि उन्होंने अपना पूरा करियर एक ही चीज में इन्वेस्ट किया, एक कंपनी, एक इंडस्ट्री, एक टाइटल। वाई पीपल get anxiety to answer this question what remained? Because they have invested their whole life in their one career, one job, one industry, one title, all of it circumstantial, all of it borrowed, all of it takeable. They believed in the old definition which says the ladder. For decades, professional success looked like one thing globally: the linear climb. Title, salary, team size, corner office. Wow. But now, because the world taught us to measure the success by what we have and not by what we are, the problem is the ladder. मैंने पहले भी अपने वीडियो में कहा था, last video, I told you that it's a single point of failure. Ladder starts from zero, ends to two vulnerable points. Has to fail. One restructure, one merger, one political exit, and the entire structure collapses. That is the cost of storing your entire identity in something external, being a success tenant. And it is happening to all the professionals everywhere right now. Ask 10 people what success looks like, and most of them will describe something they can show you, like something outside the title, business card, the salary. They may discuss the award on the wall, the certificates, the team size. I have the largest, biggest team. I'm heading 200 plus, I'm heading 10 plus. The office with a view in an expensive area of your city, the cabin, everything is showcasing. It is showcasing success. And I'm not saying those things don't matter, they do. I've had them myself and I was proud of them until I realized that it was a rented one, a borrowed. The professionals who are genuinely thriving, they are not climbing the ladder. They are going 360-degree circle. And they are also navigating a jungle gym, which is fluid, multidirectional, and personal too. And this brings me to something I think is at the heart of why so many professionals feel lost when their CVs look impressive, but they don't do well. We were given a definition of success that was built for somebody else, किसी दूसरे की script, दूसरे की frequency, and we have been living inside it without questioning it for the most of our careers. So if the old definition is broken and the world is shifting towards something new, what does the real success actually look like? Take your notepad again, think what I said, and write down what does the real success look like. And I want to offer you on this the three layers of understanding, not as a formula, but as a way of seeing something you may have already been living without fully naming it and acknowledging it. So, layer one, what the world sees. This is the success that shows up on the CV, on your resume. The title, the results, the achievements, the recognition, awards, revenue delivered, teams built, and international recognition also. This layer is real, it is evidence, and I want to be clear there is nothing wrong with wanting it or being proud of it. 30 years of extraordinary professional results deserve to be acknowledged. But this layer has one fundamental vulnerability. It can be taken. One restructure, one industry shift, one toxic environment that you eventually will walk away from, and the external market, if they disappear. External success is the fruit, it is not the tree. Now, layer number two, what you know about yourself. This layer is harder to explain because you have to do a deep dive inside yourself. But every professional who has truly built something real from the core of his or her heart, from the inside out, they exactly know what I mean. It is the quiet knowing that your work was real even before anyone else confirmed it. Validation की जरूरत नहीं है. It is the ability to walk away from a role that was paying very well but costing you something more important and feel settled with that decision. You need to be in peace as well. It is staying true to your word when no one is watching, when there is no performance review, when no one will know the difference except you. That's the second layer. I call this knowing your worth from the inside, not ego, not arrogance, the quiet, settled understanding that regardless of what is happening around you, you are still the same person who built those results, who delivered, and you will build again. When you approach every piece of the work as an offering, when the effort is honest and the intentions are clean and true and genuine, something accumulates inside you that no restructure can reach. This success cannot be restructured away because it is stored in the company, not in you. No, it is not stored in the company. It is stored in your DNA. Layer number three, what stays after you leave? And this is the layer most professionals they never think about until they leave a role and discover something unexpected. The systems they built are still running. The clients they served still trust the organization because of the relationship they personally created. The teams they trained are still delivering results. The processes they designed are still protecting people. I want you to sit with this line. If the building falls when the architect leaves, it wasn't a success, it was a hostage situation. Real success is legacy success, is a work that keeps working after you have left the room. I call it portable value. Your portable वैल्यू, योर रियल वैल्यू, आपका रियल वर्थ, ये मैंने तीन तरह से डिफाइन किया है. वर्थ इन प्राइस, आपकी असली कीमत. वर्थ इन वैल्यू और वर्च्यू, आपका असली मूल्य. वर्थ इन स्टेटस, आपकी असली औकात. एंड प्रोफेशनली, सही मायने में आपकी कदर. ये कभी भी किसी कंपनी का नहीं था और ना ही कभी किसी टाइटल का. इट वॉज ऑलवेज योर्स, आपका, आपका खुद का. एंड नो वन कैन टेक दिस वॉट इज जेन्युइनली योर्स. बट हियर्स what 30 years have taught me. Most people are building the wrong kind of a success. They are building circumstantial success. Success that belongs to the company, not to them. Success that disappears when the title disappears. So my DNA success dimension teaches me something different. It teaches me that success is your portable value, value that travels with you wherever you go, value that survives when everything else is taken, value that makes them call you back years later. So today I'm going to show you few acts from my professional life which I describe as portable value, and you could relate to it. You'll be able to relate to it when you will dissect your own professional journey. So these moments are from 30 years where I learned that success isn't what you have. Success is what you are. And in my one of the video I mentioned success walks with you. It radiates around you in an aura. आपके साथ चलती है सक्सेस. Different roles, different movements, different countries, different industries. जब सब कुछ बदल गया उसमें एक चीज कॉमन रही. क्या? मैं. इंडस्ट्री बदली, रोल्स बदले, मोमेंट्स बदले. किसके साथ? मेरे साथ. मैं आई वॉज द सेम कॉमन पर्सन और वही पोर्टेबल वैल्यू जो मेरे से कोई नहीं छीन सकता. नो बडी कैन स्नैच इट बिकॉज इट इज विद इन मी. सो लेट्स बिगिन विद द एक्ट्स. बिफोर द स्टोरीज, लेट मी क्विकली ग्राउंड अस इन द फ्रेमवर्क वंस अगेन, क्योंकि मैं चाहती हूँ कि मैं हर वीडियो में आपको माई डीएनए का थोड़ा और गहरा समझने का टाइम दूँ. तो 5 लेटर्स, एक पूरी जिंदगी. MYDNA, माई डीएनए. M मतलब me, the permanent, original self, before any title, before any company, before any industry, decided who I was. U, the activated me, the version that steps into the role, a responsibility, a room. Y is temporary. Y changes with every chapter, every season. Then we have D, the dimensions with the 4 pillars: soul, strategy, success, and spirituality. And today we are deep diving into success. But watch how it is always touching the other 3 dimensions which are parallelly operating. And then we have nucleus, the indestructible one, the core where it gets coded. No betrayal, no crisis, no job loss can take your nucleus where portable value actually lives. And न्यूक्लियस वो है जो नॉन स्टॉप काम करता है तब भी जब बाकी सब पॉज हो जाते हैं. A, architecture, what you build deliberately, consciously, from everything you have survived. So, not just a career, it is a legacy. This is not theory, what I'm saying. This is my lived 30 years of proof. So, let's begin. The first sharing is the outsider. I have named the act 1, which I'm sharing now, as an outsider. I entered a new industry from pharmaceuticals to India. In India, from pharmaceuticals in India to food industry in Dubai. Zero credentials, zero network, zero track record. My entire experience was totally from a different professional world. My credentials meant nothing in this new context. The people who had been there for years made it very clear, not always in words, but by energies. What does she know about our industry? ये कहाँ से आ गई है? इसको क्या पता हमारी इंडस्ट्री के बारे में? क्या उखाड़ लेगी? And they were right. I did not know their industry. But here is what I knew that they had forgotten. I want to pause here and bring one of the teaching that has stayed with me for years. From the Sikh tradition, a principle gifted to the world by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak Ji gave us 3 pillars of a life well lived. He said, Naam Japo. Remember what is sacred. He said, Kirat Karo, earn through honest work. And he also said, Wund Chako, share what you have. So Kirat Karo is earn through honest, skilled, and dedicated work. Work itself is worship. So Kirat Kare is not just about how you earn, it is about the quality of what you bring to your work. It says approach every task with your full skill, your full energy and integrity, and your full self, not for the applause, not for the title, because the work itself is your offering. No shortcuts, no politics, not claiming credit. Just do it. Let the work speak. So while the experts were in the boardroom talking about market share and the competitor analysis, मैंने क्या किया? मैं बोर्डरूम से उठी और बाहर चली गई. I went to the floor. I observed the families. I talked and spoke to the staff. I stood in the aisles and felt what people felt. जहाँ काम होता था वहाँ मैं गई. मैंने उन लोगों से बात की. जहाँ लोग खरीदने आते थे मैं वहाँ गई. मैंने उन लोगों से भी बात की. जहाँ फ्रिक्शन थी वहाँ मैंने पैर रखे. जहाँ सिस्टम टूट रहा था वहाँ मैंने आंखें खुली रखी. क्या हुआ? I discovered something that experts missed. They saw products. I saw people. They saw categories and SKUs. I saw feelings from the connections. They knew the industry. I knew the humans. So we collaborated, the experts and my thoughts. And I came out with suggestions which they finally accepted. People don't buy products, people buy feelings, people buy memories, they buy the experience of being genuinely seen. So I built that connection directly, personally, without any corporate script. The campaign which I built based on human fundamentals, not industry best practices, delivered 230% of growth in 18 months. Not 10%, not 50%, 230%. That's the growth. What's the lesson? Skills are portable. Industry knowledge is circumstantial. If you understand humans, their needs, their fears, their desires, you can succeed in any industry because industry changes, companies change, markets don't change. Markets also change. What doesn't change? Human fundamentals, they don't change. So, this was the first principle, people over products. The flow reveals the truth, the boardroom reveals assumptions. When you build value around understanding people, that value travels across any boundary. That's portable success. Now I will share another act. I have named it the Craftsman. Here I'm sharing a wisdom from our Hindu tradition about goddess Lakshmi, and I'm also talking about the principle that excellence demands sovereignty. एक और नया इंडस्ट्री, एक और नया वर्ल्ड. फूड इंडस्ट्री से मेरी एंट्री हुई टॉय इंडस्ट्री में. This time, the industry required something I hadn't expected. Not just strategic intelligence, but genuine emotional intelligence. इस बार रोल बड़ा था. I was operating at a global platform, high stakes, high visibility, high expectations. और ऑडियंस वो सबसे ऑनेस्ट ऑडियंस थी जो मेरी जिंदगी में मैंने फेस की. बच्चे, children. You cannot fool a child. If something is not genuine, they know it immediately. There is no hiding behind a presentation deck when your audience is 6 years old. But here's what they don't tell you about excellence, it attracts and it threatens. I was building experiences for children. The project, a castle for girls to play in a flagship toy store in Dubai. And I didn't just manage it from the boardroom, I actually went on the construction floor. I painted it myself, decorated it myself, supervised every detail myself. Why? Not because it was in my job description. Because my mother had taught me principle I have never forgotten. Whatever carries your name, whatever work you're doing, put your soul into it. Because excellence isn't delegated, excellence is lived. Children are the most honest audience. They don't care about your title, they don't care about your credentials. What they care, does this makes me feel entertaining? Does this make me feel important? What am I feeling with this experience? And I knew if I wanted them to feel magic, I had to build magic with my own hands. There has to be the soul. So I did. The result, we got best toy brand for the decor, point of sale and engagement, recognized across the world. That is Lakshmi's stain, not because of the title, because of the craft. And then something else arrived, something nobody had warned me about. That when you start delivering at this level, envy, jealousy, insecurity will come in your life. Here is the truth about the success that nobody prepares you for. Excellence breeds envy. My immediate superior got uncomfortable. My success became inconvenient, and I had a choice: dim my light to fit into somebody else's container, which is small, or find a bigger room. We speak of Goddess Lakshmi as the goddess of wealth and abundance. But there is something about Lakshmi that most people misunderstand. She is described in the scriptures as Chanchala. Na Lakshmi sthir vasti kas chidpi. मतलब है लक्ष्मी does not permanently reside with anyone. Chanchala means restless, ever moving. She does not stay in one place permanently. She does not remain with anyone simply because they have their title or the position. In a professional or a leadership context, I realized that success and positions are temporary. So one must remain grounded and focus on the core values. The Lakshmi that stays, the abundance that cannot be moved, is not in your bank account. It is not even in your designation. It is not in the company name or the business card you're carrying. The Lakshmi that stays is in your character, in your craft, in the quality of work you have left behind wherever you go. Lakshmi doesn't stay where she's not honored. So, when a recruiter called me for a major retail giant for another experience center for children based in Dubai for a higher position, better compensation, I chose sovereignty. Not because I was running from something, because I was running to something bigger and better. Here is the lesson: never shrink yourself for someone else's comfort. If your light makes others uncomfortable, that's the information, not about you, about the size of the room. That's principle 2. Excellence demands sovereignty. Your craft is yours. Your standards are yours. Your light is also yours. So when someone is asking you to dim it, don't negotiate. Move. Lakshmi moves, so should you. That's portable success. The confidence to walk away because you know your value travels with you. I'll share another act, and I have named it The Invisible Architect. And this is from a wisdom from Islamic tradition where Barakah in Arabic and Barakat in other languages is known as. Principle learning is build systems that outlast you. So once again, new industry, new journey. I entered a high stake commercial enterprise deliberately with no formal title. Not because I couldn't negotiate one, because I understood something about the titles that most people don't. A title puts you in a box. A box has a wall, and walls have limits. Without a title, I had no walls. I could see the entire machine. No formal title, but complete access. Some people need a title to function. Other people need freedom to see patterns others miss. And I saw the patterns, the legal gaps, the operational disconnection, systemic vulnerabilities that could cost millions. I saw what the specialist couldn't because they were each looking at one piece. I was looking at the whole. I identified the friction, the legal gaps, the operational disconnects, the places where the foundation was cracking, and nobody in their silo could see it because they were each too close to their own corner. I became the foundation without a title for the entire building. So I built frameworks, the SPAs, sales and purchase agreements, legal protections, agency contracts, systems that would function long after I was gone. My husband taught me a word for this Barakah. In Arabic language, it is known as, and in other languages, we call it Barakat. Barakat is often translated as blessing, but it is far more precise than that. Barakat is a divine quality placed in a work, in time, in effort that makes it produce results beyond what should be humanly possible. It multiplies the goodness, it creates the continuity, and it outlasts the person who created it. So, barakah is when Allah takes your efforts and multiplies it beyond its visible size. Work done with integrity continues to produce long after you have left the room. I have seen I have seen Barkat in my own work, in my life. It is not magic. It is what happens when your intention is clean and pure, your efforts are honest, and your work is genuinely in service of something beyond yourself. You plant a tree. You won't see the full shade in your lifetime, but you plant it anyway because Barakat isn't about immediate returns. It is about work that multiplies beyond your presence. Those legal frameworks I built, still functioning years later, protecting people I'll never meet, solving problems I'll never see. That's Barakat. Here's what I learned: success isn't staying, success is building something that doesn't need you to stay. Here is the lesson: if the building falls when the architect leaves, it wasn't a success, it was a hostage situation. True success functions after you leave. My value did not require anybody's validation to remain real. मेरा वैल्यू मेरी प्रेजेंस के बाद भी वहाँ काम कर रहा है राइट नाउ व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू. यही है पॉजिटिव वैल्यू, यही है पोर्टेबल वैल्यू. This was principle number three: build systems that outlast you. Don't build dependency, build legacy. Don't build validation, build foundations. That's portable success. That's barakat. Another act, it's the ultimate validation. The proof when your value speaks for you itself. You don't need to claim your value. Build it honestly and the market will claim it for you. You think you are replaceable? Five phone calls told me otherwise. Let me ask you something. Have you ever left a job and had your former employer call you back? सही सुना आपने. आपने एक कंपनी छोड़ी और आप आगे मूव किए. जो कंपनी आपने छोड़ी उस एम्प्लॉयर ने आपको कॉल बैक किया. Not to ask a question, not to hand over, but to say, We want you back, Archana, in a leadership role. It happened to me 5 times in my entire 30 years of life. I was called back by my previous employers to join them back and contribute. 2 times in India, 3 times in the UAE. Pharmaceuticals, food, entertainment, real estate. Multiple industries, multiple decades. And every single time I had left first on my own terms. And every single time they came looking for me again on my terms. Now I could tell you this as a career achievement, as something to be proud of. But that is not why I'm sharing it today. I'm sharing it because those 5 phone calls they taught me something that no MBA, no mentor, no performance review ever told me clearly. Real success is legacy. It's a legacy success. It is the work that keeps working after you have left the room. And this connects to Barakat once again. Barakat, a blessing placed in honest work that makes it produce results beyond its visible size. Work done with integrity continues to produce long after you have left the room. Barakat is not magic. It is what happens when your intention is clean, your efforts are genuine, and your work truly serves something beyond yourself. The foundation, built with care, does not fall when the builder leaves, it stands. Are you successful because of the logo on your business card or because of the blueprint in your brain? Your value does not live in the company, it lives in you, in your DNA. And when you truly understand that, everything changes. How you work, how you live, how you rebuild, how you see yourself when you are in the gap between what was done and what comes next. Different companies, different roles, same message. We need you back. That call is the ultimate audit. It proves your value wasn't circumstantial. It didn't belong to the title. It wasn't gifted by the company. It was yours. And when you left, so did it. That's portable value. Now, what you had, what you are. Not what the badge says, what the work did. They own the logo on the door. You own the blueprint to the building. That's success. So, the dimension of success nobody talks about. We've had 3 4 acts to understand different success definitions. But there is a fourth dimension of success that sits outside all the 3 layers. Layer 1, what the world sees. Layer 2, what you know about yourself. And layer 3, what stays after you leave. I just described. And it is the one thing I think about most now at this stage of my life. True success is not measured by how high you climbed, it is measured by how many people you brought up with you across 30 years, across every role, every industry, every country. I was building something revenue, systems, brands, results. But the thing I am most proud of is the thing that does not appear on my CV is the people I developed and mentored. It is more than the award which is in our showcase. The team members I invested in who went on to exceed what even they thought was not possible for them. The junior professionals I took time for, nobody had noticed them. The colleagues I shared my thinking with openly, even when sharing meant they might outgrow me. Because here is what I know about mentoring, about genuinely investing in people. When you pull someone up, you don't lose your footing, you become more stable. So, when I think about success, the full picture, is this: building things that last, lifting people who grow, and having the wisdom to know when to walk away from what does not deserve your best. So, my DNA integration, we'll see how mYdNA were acting here. Me, the permanent, your industry independent identity, the person who understands humans regardless of which sector you are in. When I pivoted from pharma to food to toy to entertainment and then to real estate, the industry changed, not me. The person who sees people, not only the products, that didn't change. M was my portable foundation. The activated you, they were temporary roles: marketing director, business head, unit head, general manager. These are the roles you play, not who you are. When the role ends, you changes and me still stays constant. That's the difference between circumstantial success, you, and portable success, me. Now the dimensions, the four pillars which are given. Success does not happen alone. It is always being held by the other three dimensions. Let me show you how. Soul kept me grounded. When the industry changed, Soul said, "You are not the title. You are the person who sees human needs." That doesn't change ever. Strategy kept me sharp. Every result, every recall built on diligence plus data, not just ideas, revenue models. And strategy also knew when to leave on my own terms with dignity. Spirituality held the long view. Every exit, clean or painful, spirituality asked, "What is this building in me?" The five recalls confirmed: honest work outlasts politics, always. So 360 degrees is 0 degrees, the same point, the same me, beginning again but higher. All four operating simultaneously, not one at a time together. The nucleus got coded, the core of me. This is where portable value actually lives. The ability to read a market as a community of people, not a collection of products. The commitment to honest work, Kirat Karo, aage badho. None of that was stored earlier. Now it is stored in my N nucleus in the DNA. And मैंने आपको बताया था, Gita tells you, soul cannot be taken, cannot be burned, cannot be dissolved. It remains in your nucleus. Architecture. Building what you deliberately constructed, the frameworks, the systems, the legacy, work that multiplies beyond the presence. That's Barakat in action. That's architecture. What I'm building right now in front of you. 30 years of pattern, 5 recalls, multiple industries, multiple reinventions, all of it being distilled into this framework on my channel in this conversation. The architecture of me becoming fully, completely, unapologetically myself at whatever degree of the circle I'm standing on. Archana 360 degree is the architecture made visible, all five letters working together, creating a portable value that echoes for years after you have left. So, what is success? Now, take out that notepad, the notebook where you wrote the definition of success at the start of the video. Review your life journey, and you have your answer. Stop renting and start owing. You are not the tenant. It's all about the two ancient mechanical laws which I explained you for multiplication. Kirat karo, honest work, move ahead. Barakat multiplies. Lakshmi stays with those who build character and craft. Success never travels alone. The 360-degree framework is not four separate lanes, it is one circle. When success is active, soul is grounding you, strategy is guiding you, and spirituality is putting a lesson in your leg, in your nucleus. You are never operating on one dimension. You are always operating on four. That is why you don't break. That is why the circle holds you. So this was the success dimension, 180 degrees to 270 on my 360 degrees life cycle. Interesting? I know it was too much of an information, but 30 साल का सक्सेस डेफिनेशन निकालने बैठेंगे तो 4-5 वीडियो बनानी पड़ेंगी. आई थॉट लेट मी कंपाइल इट इन वन. So you are in the success dimension right now. Chasing the promotion, proving your worth, building your career. Ask yourself one question. If everything was taken tomorrow, what remains? If your answer is nothing, you are building a circumstantial success. But if your answer is my skills, my understanding of integrity, you are building a portable success, the value which will remain with you. I will wrap up the episode with the 3 principles to remember. 1. People over products. 2. Excellence demands sovereignty. 3. Build systems that outlast you. I'm rebuilding right now in front of you, and I can tell you the value is completely intact. It is portable, it is mine, it is yours too. I am Archana. I'm at 0 degrees, rebuilding my career once again at 360 degrees peak because I have completed my circle and I'm beginning once again upwards in front of you. So this was the completion of video 5, and video 6 we will see spirituality 270 to 360 degrees, and that one is very close to my heart. When you see the complete pattern, when the architecture becomes visible. If today touched you somewhere, something, share it. Share it with someone who needs to hear that their value is portable. Subscribe, like, share, because this journey is far from over. Comment which principle hit hard. Comment which layer are you in, and always remember silence speaks louder than words. Your 360 journey continues 1 degree at a time. I am Archana. This is Archana 360 degree signing off. See you in video 6.